Shweta Dubey, here again with my best guest tonight with Atlanta Dunia videocast, Parikrama. I am going to welcome the very special guest tonight who has been a voice of Desi community. And these days you can clearly see that all over US, we've been noticing significant emergence of Desi voices, and he's one of them. Local public knows him very well, but today I have brought him here to our studio and I'm going to welcome him. He is successful commercial real estate businessman, co-founder of National Bank, served on board of Georgia Regional Transportation Authorities. Mr. Reddy, Mr. Narender Reddy, welcome you to the podcast. Did I miss anything to introduce you?
I don't want to be introduced too much either.
Very nice. But go ahead, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
I came here about 40 years ago, and I came as a student. Basically, at the time in India, they were practicing the socialistic economy. I could not take it. Even though I studied law and I studied BA in economics, I had a good state job, but still I was not happy. I was looking for bigger opportunities. So I came to this country in 1982. That's exactly 40 years ago. And I went to school here and I did my MBA from University of Evansville in Indiana. Then I moved to Georgia. So I'm a Georgia resident for last 35 years and enjoyed it very much because the weather is beautiful here and the opportunities were great because I came at the right time. And then I started the real estate business and I'm successful in real estate business. And in 1995, me and four other Indian American friends together, we started a Quantum National Bank in Suwannee, which is doing very good today with three branches, two branches and one headquarters. Everything is doing good. So, but I got involved into politics later on.
So, wow, you do have a quite of intro. I didn't have enough. I guess I didn't do enough homework. But first question first, why politics? Why did you join the politics?
Originally, because coming from India, we hate politics. Nobody goes into politics because no father wants to bring their child into make him a political leader one day. But what happened is when I came here, President Reagan was in first term, and I used to listen to his speeches, and he used to talk about the family values and education, hard work, entrepreneurship, faith. All these things are the same things that we Indians practice in India. Particularly, my parents also nurtured me the same qualities in me. So that is the time as a student I decided one day when I'm financially settled, I'll get into helping in politics as a Republican. At the time, there was no other choice for me other than being a Republican. Even today, I'm proud to be a Republican than anything. So in 1990, when Senior Bush was campaigning for the re-election, I became the part of the campaign. And after that, I never left. I've been assisting all the politicians whom I chose, whom I thought good candidates for the community. So I was supporting governors, senators, congressmen, and everyone with my money and my friends' money also. And most of the friends' money that used to come from my Democrat friends, because there were not many Republicans in our community in those days, or even now, not that many. So that's what I was doing. And politics, why means, I always see what happens is another reason. In this country, if you're not part of the system, some injustice can be done to you. Particularly we being in Asians and Indians, there could be some discrimination laws can be passed. Unless you are part of the system, you cannot prevent them. So only way you can prevent them is by being part of the system. So that is one reason I stayed in politics. And also whatever influence I gained through my political contacts, I always used for the community. If somebody has some help, needs some help, or somebody's in trouble, I always used my political contacts and I call them and I make sure that the congressman or senator, or just to get some help to them. So this is not an option for the community, but unfortunately, Indian community is lagging behind very much to be politically active. So through the chapter of the Georgia's we had a forum for educational forum for political activism, and actually we call that a Indian American Forum for Political Education. I used to be the chair of that for 10 years. I used to encourage Indians to be politically active, whether it is a Democrat or Republican, doesn't matter. As long as you are actively involved in the political system, I used to tell them that when you need help, you won't get it. But still, we have a long way to go.
Correct. Yeah, rightly said, Mr. Reddy. I see not a lot of Desi people are involved, as you said, and of course, not a lot of fathers want their sons to grow up to be a politician. But I'm sure your parents, your family, and your friends are very proud of you now that you're here. And you kind of answer my second question I was going to ask was why you are why you are a Republican, but now that you answer my question, I'm going to ask you the very next question, which is like, it's often seen a lot of Indian population is not Republican, and most Indian Americans are Democrats. What do you think? What is the reason behind it?
One thing is there are a lot of misconceptions among Indian Americans about about Republicans. They think that one thing is Republican Party is only for Christians or whites. They don't like other ethnicities. This happens because Democratic Party always dishes out this misinformation, saying that all the ethnics and immigrants belong to us as a Democrat, and Republicans don't like you. So it kept on. It was like we are brainwashed. All ethnic communities are brainwashed that way. Every immigrant thinks that, oh, Democrat Party is for the immigrants, but Republicans are anti-immigrant. Let me give you an example. Till today, in 40 years, the only time an amnesty was given for immigrants or illegal immigrants, that was given by President Reagan, who is a Republican. Did Democrats ever do that? No. But the perception is so strong in our mind that we all strongly believe that Republicans are anti-immigrant. Republicans are pro-immigrant as long as they are coming here legally. That is the only difference. Republicans don't like to open the borders for illegal immigrants. That's the only difference. But if you come here legally, you are part of the system, and the Republicans give that system. If you look at the H-1 visas, for example, were doubled in number by during George W. Bush administration. Who did that? Republicans. But no matter, even I get fed up explaining to my own friends, no matter how much I explain, they say, no, 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 they are anti-immigrant. That's how it goes. But Republicans also have to do something more aggressively. They need to go into ethnic communities. They need to go and become part of their celebrations or community events. Democrats show up everywhere. Okay, sometimes even if you don't invite them, they will come anywhere. But somehow Republicans shy away like that, and that is one reason I think our Indian friends think that Democrats are big friends, but not the Republicans. So Republicans have to do a lot more things to get into the ethnic communities.
Could be what you're saying. I'm realizing, hearing you. It's about bringing the community together and building the relationship and
Mm-hmm.
gaining the trust, right?
Yeah.
So how now that you're here, now that you have made your decision, you have made up your mind, you're gonna go be a Republican, and so how is your campaigning going? How the experience is going now?
I have been involved with several campaigns before in my life for other
Okay.
candidates, but I never did the grassroots level. Mostly my campaigns was like I was helping these candidates with money, fundraisers, and introducing to good people and key people in the community. But this one is totally different. Particularly, I'm doing the direct mailing for the Indian community separate, and also doing the direct mailing to the mainstream community. For Indian community, it is different because I want to choose a language, the message that is comfortable for the Indian American community. So it is going, but the main part of the hardest part of the campaign is going door to door. Now, so far, I visited about 2,600 homes, and
Wow.
some of the subdivisions, the driveways are steep, and those kind of things are physical, the terrain problems. But the biggest problem is 70% of the people, they don't even open the door, even when you knock on that. But so I leave my message on a push card and I put it on the door and I'll come. But those whoever opens the door, most of the time they will engage me as a Republican. This is from the mainstream. The worst part is Indian Americans. They don't engage you, they don't want to open the door. Particularly the moment you say that you are a Republican, that is worse for them. And believe it or not, I was shut up by on the they shut up a door on me by two Indian women. No other woman
Wow.
did that one. Not only
Wow.
that,
Yeah,
one lady,
we're pretty tough. We're pretty tough voters.
yep, yeah, but pretty rude too. You don't have to shut the door on me. You can just listen, or you can at the most say politely, I'm a Democrat, sorry, I can't help you. No. One lady, she said, you should be ashamed of yourself to be a Republican. And they shut the door off me on me. And her husband was totally scared. So these
I
things
bet.
happening.
Yeah.
These things are happening, but I'm into this one 100%. I'll try to convince anybody I can, and also I don't take it negatively. But all that I can say to my Indian friends, Indian American friends, is be patient. Listen to what I'm saying, trying to say. I got into this election, believe it or not for my ego or my honor. As
Right.
a Republican, I already reached the highest levels. I am on the board of Georgia Regional Transportation Authority, appointed by a governor. I have been serving for last 18 years, and I survived three administrations. That is three governors. Usually, governors, when they come, they bring their own people and change the boards, but I was not. I am still serving on the Georgia Regional Transportation Authority as a board member, even after 18 years. So
Mhm.
these are the honors I got in the party, and also I was twice a delegate to the Republican National Conventions, one in New York, one in Minneapolis. Till today, I'm the only Indian American who went as a delegate to the National Convention. Also, I was a electoral college member in 2004. That is who really elect the president. So that was a very trustworthy position. In Georgia, we had 14, and I was among those 14. So this election, particularly, I'm running. The reason behind is as much as our people are so not at all interested in the political activism, I want to prove to Indian Americans also that as a brown man, I can go into the mainstream elections and win the election, even in the Republican Party, which has a different perception for the Indians, so that more and more Indians, particularly the second generation, can be encouraged to run for offices with an ambition to serve people. So this is my main goal, to win for the community and win for the state and win for the party and win for the Johns Creek.
Very nice. Good to hear you, come prepared and you know what the DC Indian American community's expectations are, and you are putting your hard work behind it. Now, let's go back to the what I heard you earlier saying that, the people have not been educated or explained, enough or in a right way. So let's assume I am the lady who closed the door on your face. What is your strategy to win Indian Americans' votes, and why is their support is so important to you?
Why their support is more important to me is because my lifelong ambition is to have them politically activated. Okay, that's one thing. Particularly, also, I have my own selfish reasons to be approaching the Indian community in this election. Is this community, this district 50, Johns Creek, has a significant population of Indians. For example, we have a 3,004. This is a very low percent of the people participate in the primary election. Indian Americans, there are at least 3,400 active voters in this district. Even if half of them vote for me, I will win this primary without any runoff. I can win straight away because the lowest attendance will be in the primaries. But out of 3,400, even 1,700, if they vote for me, I'm there. I will be going to the November election. That is one. Second thing is, you're asking me how I'm going to explain to them, what I'm going to convince them, why I'm running, or what my party is for. I will tell them exactly. I'm an immigrant, and I'm in the Republican Party for 30 years. Nobody ever objected me because of my color or by nationality or anything. Only thing is, Republican Party really believes what the Indians believe in, like a faith, family values, the value of the education, and entrepreneurship. Because look at the Indians; they are all highly educated, and they are all entrepreneurs and hardworking. That's how we became successful in this country. Nobody gave it to us anything free. We did not
True.
ask for any special treatment. We
True.
always asked for only equal opportunity. Give us the equal opportunity. As long as you don't discriminate, that's good enough for us. Look at where our community. We have the highest average household income compared to any ethnicities, including Caucasians. What else we want? We accomplished a lot. So we accomplished in businesses, we accomplished in professions, and for example, in Georgia, at least 20% or 25% of the physician force is Indian American. But we are not in the politics. But that's where the things happen. You need to have a seat at the table to stop any legislation that is going to hurt you or your business or your child's education. If you're not part of that thing, the system, if you're not at the table, you, you cannot stop it. So these are the reasons I want to explain people who want to shut up. About the other thing also, I will tell them, Democrats, you've been voting. Okay, how did they help you? I'm going to ask you that question also. Second thing is, I will compare our Indian community always with the Jewish community. We are 1.2% of the population. Jewish community is 2.4% of the population, means only twice the size. But look at their political strength in this country. They have 26 congressmen, 10 senators. We don't have any senator. All that we have is 4 congressmen. Okay. Then we have 2 Jewish Supreme Court judges. Actually, 5 years back, it was 4 out of 9 were Jewish community. So our community has also this way, they feel that we already accomplished a lot. No, we have a long way to go. We have a long way to go in certain fields, particularly in politics. We have to have our own strength. We have to have our own people there. So Jewish community becomes united when their candidate is running, irrespective of the party, they will vote for him or her. That is the reason there are so many congressmen. 26 congressmen is not an easy thing for a 2.4% population. But our Indian community, just like the way I described these ladies, why you have to look at me like a Republican anti kind of thing? Why don't you look at this person helped us so much in the community? I never, when somebody called me, I never asked them, are you a Democrat or are a Republican? Whoever it is, I helped them. Whatever the political will I had with willpower I had with my goodwill, goodwill I have with my congressmen or senators, I helped them. But even now I feel very hard. I can explain to a American guy why I'm running and why should I deserve your vote, then I can explain to an Indian people. So it should change. Through your Atlanta Dunia, this is one thing I want to explain to our Indian community. Don't look at anything about my party or anything. Just look at me as one of your own. And be proud if I get elected, when I get elected, that you have your own person in the state house, state assembly to represent your issues. Because ethnic people, particularly Indians, have a different issues. Mainstream people cannot understand, they cannot pick up. So those are the things I want to explain to the people.
Very nice. I hope that our Indian community, listens. I'm not saying go to Democrat or be Republican.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is go out and vote. And we see less and less voting tendency in our Indian community, which is very sickening. We can sit and complain and talk about politics for hours, but we don't want to go and vote.
Exactly.
Very sad situation, but I hope this is our first step to educate our people. And you said earlier we are one of the biggest taxpayer population. So why we are not using that for our own benefits, for our community benefits? So Mr. Reddy, if you're elected, if
I
you're
will be
elected,
elected.
okay. Uh, if you're elected, what would be your priority? What are the things that in your priority list for our community? What are the most important issues that you will be tackling when you are in the House?
My first thing will be in Johns Creek, particularly, we don't have charter schools. You have to encourage the competition among the students. Our students should not be competing with only children in Georgia. We should be able to compete at the national level, getting admissions into the Ivy League schools. And every forum we go to the national level, our children should be able to compete. To do that, to enhance the competition, I strongly believe charter schools are very much necessary. That's one thing I want to do. Second thing is we have a traffic gridlock in Johns Creek, particularly on Highway 120 and Highway 141. Those areas we have to found a way to resolve these traffic gridlocks. With my experience on the Transportation Authority, maybe I will be able to find more people at the Department of Transportation to come up with plans to solve those issues. And another thing is we want to make sure that our businesses and our professions are not restricted by unnecessary regulations. The less regulations, the more we can do as a businessman or as a professional. And another one I want to do is income tax. We work very hard for the money. Since we cannot cut the federal taxes as a state legislator, I want to see slash the income tax every year by 0.5%. That way, in few years, maybe as we find alternate resources, I would like to see totally Georgia state income tax is eliminated. We cannot eliminate that just in 1 year because it brings about 45% of our total income for the state. So unless you find the alternate resources, you cannot take it out. So to do that, we can do slowly. Every year, 0.5% we can take. That way, few years from now, we don't have any income tax. That way, our small business people, they can reinvest that money into their businesses. We work hard and we want to keep our money to ourselves, at least to some extent. Those are my priorities.
Nice, very nice. And I hope that our population is listening to you through our podcast, and that is the whole purpose. It seems like you come prepared. It seems like you have a lot to offer. You have a lot to bring to the table. But I can talk. We can sit here and talk all day, and I am loving to talk to you. But one more last thing, like, what do you expect from our community, and what would be the last closing statement from you? You want the message to go out to our population, the Asian American Indian population.
First, I want to tell the Indian American friends, don't underestimate your strength. You have a strong unity. If you have a strong unity, you can send more than one person to the Georgia State House. That's why I'm running for the State House. First, support me and elect me. If I don't perform to your expectations, you can take me out in 2 years. That is also possible. So the power is in you. You don't underestimate your power. Second thing is, representation in the State House is very important for our community. And the third thing is, don't look at me as a Republican or anything. Just look at me as one of your own who was in the community for 30 years. I served in several associations as president, like Indian American Association, Telugu Association, Hindu Temple of Atlanta. I've done all these things. So I work for the community. This is also part of my community service. Please go and vote on the May 24th in the Republican primary. Before also, now the polls are open until May 20th. Every day the polls are open. Go and vote in those polls. Even if that is not possible, still before May 13th, you can apply for the absentee ballot online, get that thing and mail it back. That's all you have to do. It's not difficult. Here I am going house to house every day, rain or shine. I'm putting my name and my personality and my personal life at risk. Can't you do one thing? Just going to the polls. Please do that for me, for the community, for the state of Georgia and Johns Creek.
Very nice. I love your confidence, and I wish may the best one win. Whatever happens good for our community. This is why we all are here. It was so much pleasure to talk to you, Mr. Reddy. And we want our people to listen to you. We wanted them to know who you are. We wanted them to know what you offer, what you have for us planned. So good luck let's hope that the best person comes out and win. And we wish you all the best for your campaigning and everything. Doing a lot of good work. So I hope it will all pay off. And thank you so much for your time coming
Thank
out
you,
to speak to us.
Thank you, Shweta ji. Thank you, Atlanta Dunia, for giving me this opportunity to reach our people.